Welcome to your new position in our restaurant. We're excited that you're working with us. We take pride in our work and can't wait to show you around, because we think you'll be a great fit. Restaurant jobs are never boring. They may be challenging, but unlike school or office jobs, you'll never be bored watching the minutes tick by. Once that rush of guests hits, 3 or 4 hours might pass in the blink of an eye. Restaurants are alive, with great people who know how to laugh and enjoy life. Don't hesitate to introduce yourself to all of your new coworkers. We work as a team here and are happy to have you on board. Thanks in advance for all your hard work and great attitude. We want you to be successful and feel comfortable in your new position. Let's cover some of the basics that all employees should know. As a host, busser, or server, you work on the dining room floor with customers. This is known as the front of house, and you are a front of house employee. The dishwasher, cooks, and chefs work in the back of house. They are back of house employees. Even though there's a division of labor between the front of house and back of house, we all work together towards one common goal: guest satisfaction. Teamwork between the front and the back is essential to achieving this goal. To work as a team, be courteous to all employees in the restaurant. Learn people's names and say hi to everyone as you see them at the beginning of your shift. A little polite greeting makes teamwork easier. Arrive for work looking your best and ready to go. This means looking clean and tidy. Always eat before coming to work to maintain high energy throughout your shift. Bring a couple of snacks with you as well, because restaurant work can be tiring and you need to stay energized. Safety is a top priority in our restaurant. Restaurants can be dangerous if employees are careless, but if we all act in a safe way, the chances of accidents are greatly reduced. Wet floors are a common hazard in a restaurant. If the floor gets wet in the front of house, get a wet floor sign right away to keep guests safe. If at all possible, have a coworker guard the wet spot and alert people to watch their step while you get the sign. People often move quickly through a restaurant carrying glass and ceramic dishes. If you are passing behind or near a coworker in a restaurant, announce yourself by saying "behind you" or "beside you." If someone announces "behind" or "beside" to you, respond by saying "heard." This will cut down on bumps that could send something crashing to the ground. Walking quickly is fine, but running is unsafe. Never run in the restaurant. Cleanliness is a part of safety. Even slight sanitation violations that wouldn't impact most people can cause life-threatening illnesses to young children, the elderly, or people with weaker immune systems. Remember that our restaurant should be safe and welcoming to all, regardless of age or health condition. Wash your hands frequently. Always wash hands thoroughly after using the bathroom or taking a break. Washing your hands will help keep you and our guests healthy. Cough or sneeze into your arm and away from guests and food. Gum chewing is not allowed. Never eat where food is prepared. Eat snacks or meals in designated areas only. Wet or damp rags should never be left on the countertop or on top of a spray bottle. Keep wet rags in a bucket filled with sanitation water. Leaving wet rags on any surface is against health code and one of the most common citations that restaurants receive. Other common front-of-house citations involve substandard personal hygiene, overflowing trash bins, failure to wash hands when appropriate, and placing personal belongings on work counters or other improper places. Health inspectors can walk into the restaurant at any time. Always be prepared. Restaurant jobs are unlike a typical 9-to-5 job. You may stay later or leave earlier than expected depending on the volume of guests that we receive during your shift. A restaurant only earns between 3 and 6% profit. That means for every dollar in sales, the restaurant keeps between 3 and 6 cents. The rest of the money made goes to employee wages, food costs, and utilities. Because of that tight budget, be careful not to break glasses and dishes. Taking food from the walk-in can endanger the restaurant's profitability and is strictly prohibited. Finally, stay busy throughout your shift. Even if we're slow, find a way to keep the restaurant clean and ready for the next wave of guests. This could mean folding napkins, polishing silverware, finding something to wipe down or dust, or stocking something like ice or plates. Or ask your manager what they would like help with. We take pride in our restaurant and our guests notice. Help us keep it running smoothly by arriving ready to work, being courteous and kind to your coworkers, being safe and sanitary, and staying busy through your shift. Thank you, and have a great shift. Welcome to your new job as a busser. Working in a restaurant is fast-paced and exciting. You won't have any long, boring hours sitting in a chair around here. Time flies when you're busy, and you're going to enjoy the fun social environment here. The more you prepare, the more likely it is that you'll have an enjoyable, successful shift. When your clothes are clean and ironed, and when your shoes are clean, you will feel and do your best. You'll want your hair to always be tied back if it's longer than shoulder length, so it doesn't get in your way. Also, you must wear non-slip shoes. Not just any shoe with tread will work. The label must specifically say non-slip. Always prepare by eating before your shift. Bussing is a physically demanding job, and it's always hard to work around food while you're hungry, so arrive to work on a full stomach. Also, bring a few snacks to eat during your shift. Let's get to the basics of the job. Bussers have two main responsibilities. The first is to clean and set tables. The second is to help the servers. Let's talk about cleaning tables first. Exactly how to bus a table will be shown later in your training. The important thing to remember is that each table should be clean and welcoming for the next guests. When you clear the table, do it quickly. But don't disturb the other tables in the restaurant by making too much noise. Also, when you pick up glasses or silverware, don't touch the parts where people put their mouths, because this can spread disease. Wipe the top of the table and around the edges too. Wipe down the salt and pepper shakers, sugar packet holder, or other condiments that you keep on the table. Also, check to make sure there is still enough of each condiment for the next guests. Check the seats and give those a wipe down if you notice crumbs. Check the floor around the table. If you notice crumbs or napkins on the floor, do a gentle sweep around the table. Don't disturb the guests around you by sweeping too forcefully. Make sure the table is not too wet from the wipe down. Next, reset the table. Now the table should look fresh and ready for the next guests. The second responsibility of a busser is to assist the servers. This mostly means refilling drinks on tables. Walk around the dining room with a water pitcher and help refill guests' glasses. If someone has a soda or iced tea that's running low, ask if you can bring them a refill. Also, it's helpful to keep the water pitchers full and ready to go. Another way to assist the servers is to help keep their workstation clean and dry and make sure their trash isn't overflowing. Waiters can easily become overwhelmed with the many needs of their tables, and your help will be greatly appreciated. If a server is very busy, ask them what you can do to help. Also, if you see a table trying to get their server's attention, ask them if there's anything you can do to help. If so, go for it, and if not, alert their server. Bussers are the ears and eyes of the restaurant and can see how each server and table is doing. If you see a spill, clean it up right away. If you spot a problem, don't hesitate to step in and fix it, even if that means getting a server or manager to help. Pre-bussing means cleaning the table while guests are still seated by clearing unused plates and glasses. This is mostly the responsibility of the server. Notice that the server won't clear the entree plates until all the guests are finished, and neither should you. If you want to help a server pre-bus a table that's looking dirty, you can remove side plates, unused glasses, and trash. But leave the entree plates until all guests are finished eating. That prevents slower eaters from feeling rushed. Always ask a guest before removing something from the table. Don't ask, "Still working on that?" because this implies that enjoying a meal is tedious labor. It's better to ask, "May I clear this for you?" Great bussers make a shift much easier for the servers and enhance the experience for the guests. Have a great shift. Food is the reason a guest picks out a restaurant, but great customer service is why a guest comes back. In fact, some argue that good service in a restaurant is more important than good food. Grocery stores sell food, after all, and it's cheaper there, but restaurants can sell service. What is service? Service simply means doing things to make the guest feel valued. We want all our guests to feel important because they are. They are the reason we can keep opening our doors every day. The most critical part of service in the hospitality industry is simple. Smile. Smiling lets the guests know that you're happy to see them in the restaurant. A smile is part of the uniform. Also, make eye contact when speaking with a guest. This will assure them that you are engaged with what they are saying. You can also achieve great customer service by putting yourself in the guest's shoes. What would you want if you were spending money to eat out? How would you want the host or hostess to greet you? How would you want the server to wait on you? How clean would you like your table to be when you sat down? A restaurant runs as a team. Guest satisfaction is everyone's responsibility. If a guest is looking for the bathroom, show them where it is. If a guest needs their server, first ask if you can help, and if not, find their server. If a guest needs a refill, don't hesitate to give them one. Kids are often ignored in a restaurant. Talk to kids. Their parents will be proud to see them interacting with others. The guest is our top priority, so socializing with coworkers in view of the guests is prohibited. If a guest is waiting on service, they will not appreciate watching employees socializing. Never chat in the dining room. Always try to say yes to a guest. If a guest makes a request, try to accommodate it. If you can't accommodate that specific request, tell the guest why you cannot and make another offer that might be suitable. Don't argue with a guest. If a guest is upset, listen to their complaint, apologize, and fix it right away. If the guest is very upset or you don't know how to fix the problem, get a manager to help. Great customer service is essential to keeping our restaurant going. If we make the entire dining experience wonderful for each guest, they will recommend us to their friends, and our restaurant will be successful. Restaurants run on teamwork. Think about how impossible it would be to run a restaurant on your own. You'd have to seat the guest, take the order, cook the food, and clean the table. That's why restaurants rely on their employees to work together. But what does it mean to have great teamwork in our restaurant? Here's the two-part answer. First, ask your coworkers if they need assistance. And second, ask for assistance when you need it. If you see a coworker in a hurry and you happen to have an extra minute, go ahead and ask them what you can do to help. You can assist any front-of-house or back-of-house employee. Or, if you see a good way to help a busy coworker, go ahead and lend a hand without being asked. Perhaps you can refill drinks in their section. Maybe there's a table that could be reset. Maybe there are people at the door who need to be sat. Always be on the lookout for ways to help your coworkers. If you find yourself falling behind, don't be shy to ask someone for assistance. It's better to ask for help when you start falling behind so that you can catch up easily, rather than waiting until you are really behind. If you are always ready to lend a hand to a coworker, they will remember that and return the favor. A good restaurant employee is always asking coworkers, "Need anything?" Start asking that question, and you'll be amazed by how much faster and more efficient work flows at a restaurant.